Is Vietnam safe to travel? If you are visiting Vietnam for the first time, what to pay attention to? Hello everybody, I am Zhao Lei. Today's video will talk to you about, is tourism in Vietnam safe? I believe the mention of Southeast Asia, the first feeling you have is insecurity. Indeed, in recent years, about Southeast Asia travel, more and more negative news about Southeast Asia. There is a growing debate about security. Vietnam is a typical Southeast Asia country. Naturally, people also associate insecurity. In fact, compared to Vietnam's neighbor Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam is the Southeast Asia I have been to, one of the safest countries. Although, some Vietnamese are really not friendly to the Chinese. However, the whole of Vietnam, nature and safety lines are unquestionable. Walking the streets of Vietnam, everywhere you look is Vietnam's Uncle Hat. Roadside patrols, especially key scenic spots, you will find. You have security personnel everywhere, 24-hour uninterrupted inspections. The most impressive time, it was me in Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. Because it is the first time to go to Vietnam, they are curious about everything. The first time is basically visited all the scenic spots in Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, and I was surprised. The most seen along the way is their local area, the Hat Uncle, especially through the ambassadors of various countries in Vietnam. In the area of the museum, basically, you can see the number of times a hat can be seen in a few steps. One of them even has a hat number of times. Take the initiative to say hello to me, ask me for a cigarette. See them there. I believe that as a tourist, the only feeling is a sense of security. That's what I believe. Of all countries in Southeast Asia, basically, there are very few countries that can do it. In addition, Vietnam, it's not what we thought it was. Poor and backward countries. What about Vietnam? It's going through a period of tremendous growth right now. Vietnam, the overall national economic strength has been greatly improved. The rule of law in Vietnam, and the cultural quality of the people, it's getting better. So it's not black. Vietnam is precisely because of the country's continuous development. It also led the Vietnamese government to pay more attention. National security construction, especially Vietnam as a tourist destination. Vietnam places greater emphasis on travel safety for tourists. It can be said that except for the Chinese, basically all foreigners, when illegally violated in Vietnam, Vietnam official will be the first to protect the lives and property of tourists. However, because Vietnam is after all after Japan, as the second tier in the world is China, Vietnam's unfriendliness towards the Chinese will also, it's a fantastic example. It can be said that Vietnam is supreme. They are all thinking about how to transport Chinese tourists. So I thought, if you put aside Vietnam's prejudice against China, Vietnam is actually a relatively safe country. Certainly. In Vietnam at night, try not to go out alone. The most common thing on the streets of Vietnam is the biker party. Basically, grabbing a bag and grabbing a mobile phone is the basic operation. So do you want to go to Vietnam like this? Okay, that's the end of today's video sharing. If you like my video, you can like it, comment and follow it. See you.